Creating photos is something that can be incredibly intimidating. I know when I first started, I didn't have anybody to point me in the right direction of what I needed to learn or how to learn it. I just had to figure it out. If you're taking pictures and they're not coming out the way that you want them to, or things just feel slightly off from what you intended the picture to look like, this video is for you. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to improve your photography so that you can learn how to take better photos. One of the most important things you can do to start taking better photos is to learn the basics of exposure: aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. These 3 things are incredibly important for making sure that the photo that you're trying to get comes out the way that you want it to. I do have videos that go into more detail on these subjects. You can find those videos here, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you some short recaps so that you have something to leave here with. The first basic of exposure that we're going to talk about is aperture. Aperture works like the pupil of your eye. The larger your aperture, the more light you let in, and the smaller your aperture, the less light you let in. Aperture is measured in f-stops. It's usually notated in whole numbers or in decimals. With film cameras, you'll find rings on the outside of the lens that have those whole numbers on it so that you can see where exactly your f-stop or your aperture is. With digital cameras, it's usually a function that's on one of the thumb wheels, and you can find it relatively easy. Most digital cameras do have the letter F in front of the aperture, but for the ones that don't, it's always going to be a whole number or a decimal. It's never going to be a fraction. Aperture is also primarily responsible for depth of field. If you're taking a picture of a person and you want the person to be in focus, but you want the background to be blown out or blurry, you want to use a smaller f-stop, a smaller aperture. If you want that person to be in focus and you also want the background to be in focus, you're going to use a larger aperture. When you change your aperture, you have to make sure that you're paying attention to your shutter speed. You heard me mention fractions a second ago. Shutter speed is the next part of exposure. It's typically measured in fractions or fractions of a second. When you see it on your camera, that is usually how it is notated. With film cameras, it's typically a dial on the top of a camera, and with digital cameras, it's a thumb dial that changes the fraction. The shutter speed controls how long light comes into the camera. The faster your shutter speed, the more frozen your picture will be. The slower your shutter speed, the more blur you will introduce to the picture. Something to note about shutter speed is if you're shooting any slower than 1/60th of a second, you want to make sure you're using a tripod. If you don't use a tripod and you shoot at 1/30th of a second, 1/8th of a second, you're going to have a lot of motion blur in your pictures. And the last part of exposure that we need to cover is ISO. ISO is your camera's sensitivity to light. The higher the ISO, the more sensitive your camera is. The lower the ISO, the less sensitive your camera is. Generally, if you turn the ISO on your digital camera up higher, you're going to introduce more noise, meaning the picture is going to look grainy almost. You see pixels in it. If you want to avoid the noise in your image, you can adjust your shutter speed and your aperture to accommodate a lower ISO so that you don't have that noise in your image. With film cameras, you have a set ISO that comes with the roll of film that you're shooting on. Portra 400, for example, is a film stock that I shoot on quite frequently, and the recommended ISO for that film stock, so what you should set your camera's ISO to for all of the pictures that you take on that roll, is 400. You can find different film stocks with different recommended ISOs for different types of lighting. There's Ilford Delta 3200, and that gives you a really high ISO so that you can shoot in really dark settings. Or you can use something like a Portra 160, which has a set box speed so that you can maintain the quality of your image. The second tip to improving your photography is to get one camera and to learn that camera really well. I recommend a 50mm lens or a 35mm lens. Learn how to use one camera and one lens in all situations, because when you have a better understanding of aperture, shutter speed, ISO, using one camera and one lens, it allows you to take that knowledge and apply it to whatever else you want. But if you have a hard time understanding aperture and you skip to another lens or you skip to another camera, it's going to be hard for you to master that. The third way to improve your photography is to shoot more. Give yourself a project, whether it's lines or shadows, a color, whatever it is, it's your project, you get to choose. But having a project where you choose something to go and photograph gets you motivated to go and do that thing, rather than saying you're going to take more photos of whatever. Having something specific gives you the motivation to go and actually take more photos. And it comes through in the photographs that you take. You see really great photographers taking pictures of people, or you see them taking really great pictures of landscapes. And the reason they're so good at those things is because they've taken a lot of those pictures. So shoot more pictures, give yourself a project. It's going to help improve your skills. And that leads me to the fourth tip, which is to study photographers that you enjoy. You can go online and put in Google searches for whatever it is that you're interested in, whether it's portrait photography, landscape photography, deadpan, whatever it is that you're interested in. You can find photographers who are doing that type of photography and study their work. Figure out what it is that you like about what they're doing and what it is that you don't like and how you want to do it. One of my favorite books is this one. It's The Word of Art, The Photograph as Contemporary Art. The beautiful thing about this book is that it teaches you the different styles of photography. Another one of my favorite books is this Vivian Maier Out of the Shadows book. I love it because all of her photos are just stunning. This is one of my favorite photos in the book. Personally, I love Vivian Maier because I really love black and white photos. And I've found that out about myself by looking at photographs that other photographers have made. I also realized that I really love the way that she uses shadows in her photos. And when you can see how someone else does it, it gives you ideas on how you would like to do it. Another one of my favorite photographers is Cindy Sherman. She takes a lot of self-portraits and portraits of females dressed as certain stereotypes. She has beautiful work. By studying different styles of photography and figuring out what you do and don't like, it's going to help you figure out what style is best for you. And the last tip for how to improve your skills as a photographer is to get closer. A lot of times people get nervous doing this, and I totally understand. If that's you, find a lens that will allow you to do this. But if you can push past that and get closer to the thing you're trying to take a picture of, a lot of times it makes for a more intimate photo, and that draws people in. There's something about how our brain works that it's appealing when you feel like you're in the image. Get closer to your subjects. Those are 5 ways for you to improve your skills as a photographer. I hope you take that and you go and create something beautiful. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll make sure I do link all of the gear we used in today's video down below, as well as the books that I featured and some photographers that I really love. So if you're interested, you can find that down there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tilly Scholl, and I'll see you on the next one.